What is the process of updating a document to make changes, correct errors?
Sharp thinking. Editing is the right choice.
Displays a document on separate pages, just as it will appear when printed.
Excellent. Print layout view is a brilliant choice. Which tool is used to copy and apply text formatting to another selection? Strong choice. Format Painter is the right answer. Which is the ribbon bar? The command buttons for inserting various objects. Nice work. You chose Insert and it is correct. Per applica la formattazione ad un testo, quell'operazione devo seguire? Good job. Your answer, select the text, works well here.
Users can specify different margins and indentation within a single document. Correct response. Layout is the most accurate answer.
The software that is used to create text-based document are referred to as.
Bravo, word processors is the answer. Which of the following options saves new changes in the existing document? Solid response. Save is a valid choice. Make a business card by dividing column, show many rows must be determined. You're right. 4 rows is the correct answer. To move data from one part of the document to another, following is used.
Well reasoned. Cut and paste is the correct choice.
Which of the following options can you usually configure while printing?
Correct. All of these is the right answer. What helps you to move the content of a document up, down, right, and left?
Great job. Scroll bars is the accurate answer.
The bar present on the top of the window, which shows name of application. Right choice. Title bar is the best answer.
Which is the ribbon button? Various commands about the formatting text. You got it? Your choice home is right.
In the beginning, Dash was the most widely used word processing software.
Exactly. WordStar makes sense, and it is right choice.
If the header button is used, then the text in it stays for all the pages. Clear logic. Your choice true is sound and 100% true.
What property can you use to control the way text flows around an image?
Well done. Text wrapping is the right choice.
The line dash can be moved at certain spaces in a document using the Tab key. On track, cursor is the correct answer. When you insert a table, what options will you get under the table tools? Good thinking. Both layout and design is the right answer. Which area of the MS Word window shows the name of the active document? Valid point. Title bar is true. As you type a paragraph, press Enter to move from one line to the next. Well picked. True is the correct answer. Which feature places some information on top and bottom of every page? Perfect. Header and footer is the correct choice. Using the font dialog box, you can change the dash of the selected text. Nicely done. All of these is a solid answer. A number of letter that appears little above the normal text is called. Excellent choice. Subscript is the right answer.
This application has various options to make the text look different. Great thinking.
Word processor is the right choice.
We can open Microsoft Word by double-clicking its icon on the desktop.
You chose true, and it is correct. Which of the following option is used to check grammar and spellings?
Smart move. Argue is an accurate answer.
Dash is the amount of space between the lines of text in a paragraph. Smart pick. Line spacing is the correct choice. The size of the shapes or images can be adjusted in a word processor. Nice selection. True is the correct and valid answer. Which of the following is not a common file type for a text document? Right again, Slusk is the valid answer. Which is not a configuration in the dialog box, envelopes, and labels? Good thinking. Data name is the right answer. To close the document, do we click on the Open option in the File tab? You're right. No is the correct answer. Which key is used to erase anything typed on the left of the cursor? Exactly. Backspace makes sense, and it is right choice. Which keyboard shortcut will you use to cut a selected piece of text? Nice work. You chose Ctrl plus X, and it is correct. C. Which one of the following is not the command under the File tab? Great job. Save by is an accurate answer. What is the shortcut key to undo the last action in Microsoft Word? Good job. Your answer Ctrl plus Z works well here. The Tab key on the keyboard also allows the user to indent the text. Right choice. True is the best answer. Which commands are used to move the text from one place to another? Bravo, cut and paste is the answer. To add header and footer text to a document, which tab will you open? Correct response. Insert is the most accurate answer. The columns or headings can be added or deleted in the address list. Excellent. True is a brilliant choice.
A. Which one of the following is not an example of a word processor?
Smart move. Paint is an accurate answer. Which of the following is the default paper orientation in Ms. Word? Nicely done. Portrait is a solid answer. What is the correct starting place for your hands on the keyboard? Ooh. Sharp thinking. Home row is the right choice. Dash option will change uppercase in small and small in uppercase. Excellent choice. Toggle case is the right answer. Which keyboard shortcut makes the selected paragraph right-aligned? Great thinking. Ctrl plus R is the right choice. The dash is used to move the screen up and down or left and right. Valid point. Scroll bar is true. Dash toolbar has options for making your document more impressive. On track. Formatting is the correct answer. While dragging the double-headed arrow, it changes to a dash sign. Strong choice. Addition is the right answer. What would be the best file type for publishing documents online? You got it. Your choice PDF document is right. What software would be most appropriate to use to write a letter? Smart pick. Word processing software is the correct choice. And dash is the amount of space given between text and page margin. clear logic. Your choice indent is sound and 100% true. Making changes in a document after typing the text is called dash. Correct. Editing is the right answer. Where all the tabs are located. Perfect. Ribbon is the correct choice. The act of entering and editing text with the use of a computer. Right again. Word processing is a valid answer. Which of the following font sizes are not supported by Word 2007? Nice selection. A is the correct and valid answer. D command that is used to save a document with another name is. Well done. Save as is the right choice. Dash option places the selected text slightly above the baseline. Well reasoned. Superscript is the correct choice. This software helps us to create, edit and store a text document. You chose word processor, and it is correct. The dash dialog box gives you printing choices for your document. Well picked. Merge to printer is the correct answer. Which of the following shows the correct use of MEMS Word at home? Solid response. Typing letters and stories is a valid choice. Ctrl plus dash is the shortcut key to cut the text in the document. Valid point. X is true. What is the process of removing the unwanted part of a picture? Well done. Cropping is the right choice. The default extension of the saved file in MEMS Word 2010 is dash. Great job. Docs is the accurate answer. Letters, reports, thesis, manuscripts, etc. are examples of dash. Correct response. Documents is the most accurate answer. What option allows us to move our picture freely on a document? Well picked. Text wrap is the correct answer. What is the shortcut key to save a document in Microsoft Word? You chose Ctrl plus S, and it is correct, meaning to returns the font formatting to the default setting. Smart pick. Ctrl plus spacebar is the correct choice. The dash command is used to check the document before printing. Nicely done. Print preview is a solid answer. The Word application opens a blank document with the name dash. Correct. Document 1 is the right answer. Which option places selected text slightly below the baseline? On track. Subscript is the correct answer. Write the keyboard shortcut for the following commands. 1. Cut. Excellent choice. Ctrl plus X is the right answer. Dash tab is used in font group to apply shadow effect on text. You're right. Home is the correct answer. B. Which one of the following is a component of the title bar? Perfect. Quick Access Toolbar is the correct choice. Which of the following option is the first tab on the ribbon? Good thinking. File is the right answer. Allows you to type info below the bottom margin on each page. Good job. Your answer footer works well here. The Dash tab has all the necessary tools for doing mail merge. Smart move. Mailings is an accurate answer. The shortcut key for copy selected text picture in Ms. Word is
Right choice. Ctrl plus C is the best answer. Combining two or more cells into a single cell is called a dash. Nice work. You chose merging and it is correct.
the area where you type the text of a document is called dash. Great thinking. Work area is the right choice.
Which of the following is not a commonly used word processor? Sharp thinking. Adobe Photoshop is the right choice.
Is used for creating digital documents via text manipulation.
Clear logic. Your choice word processor is sound and 100% true.
Which key combination moves the cursor to the previous cell?
You got it.
Your choice Shift plus Tab is right. What key to press to move the intersection point to the end?
Nice selection. A Akako plus Entra is the correct and valid answer.
It is the text that appears at the top margin of every page.
Exactly. Header makes sense, and it is right choice. The small blinking vertical line on the document is known as
Well reasoned. Cursor is the correct choice. Which one of the following is not a word processing program?
Bravo. Google Sheets is the answer.
Dash controls the movement of cursor when we press Tab key.
Right again. Tab stops is a valid answer.
The spelling and grammar utility command button lies in the
Solid response. Review tab is a valid choice.
What is the process of reducing the file size of a picture?
Strong choice. Compressing is the right answer.
Microsoft Word is what common type of application software?
Excellent. Word processing is a brilliant choice. It is divided into groups which contain different commands. Good job. Your answer ribbon works well here.
Where are the most formatting options in Word 2007 located?
Exactly. Home tab makes sense and it is right choice.
This icon is used to get help in using Microsoft Word 2010.
Smart pick. Word help is the correct choice. File created in Word 2010 is saved with the extension dash. Great job. Docs is the accurate answer. It shows the file name of the document user is working on. Well reasoned. Tittlebar is the correct choice. The shortcut key to save a document using keyboard is dash. Nice selection. Ctrl plus S is the correct and valid answer.
Dash command is used to save the document with a new name.
Bravo. Save as is the answer.
The information we input into the computer are called dash.
Nicely done. Data is a solid answer.
It lets you type, edit, design, and save text in documents.
Strong choice. Microsoft Word is the right answer.
Word processor allows us to add tables, charts, shapes, etc.
Yes is the right answer.
Where can we find the cut, copy, paste command in Ms. Word?
Excellent. In Home tab, clipboard is a brilliant choice.
Which item must be done first? In the insertion of football.
Good thinking. Click References, Insert Footnotes is the right answer. Superscripts is used to make the text above the baseline.
You chose true. And it is correct! Which function key is used to update the total in a cell? Sharp thinking. Fuck is the right choice. In which orientation the height is longer than the width? Great thinking. Portrait is the right choice. Which one is the symbol of the denial relationship group? Valid point. Negative relations is true.
Which is not a ribbon in the Microsoft Word 2013 program.
Smart move. Paragraph is an accurate answer. Which group of the Insert tab contains the Word Art button? Right choice. Text is the best answer. The undo, redo, and save command are usually found in Dash. Well picked. Quick Access Toolbar is the correct answer. What is the shortcut key to bold text in Microsoft Word? Solid response. Ctrl+B is a valid choice. Choose the keyboard shortcut for opening a new document. Well done. Ctrl+N is the right choice. Dash is a word processor program developed by Microsoft. Excellent choice. Microsoft Word is the right answer. What is text centered between the top and bottom margin? You got it. Your choice vertical center is right. In Writer, by default, the file is saved in Dash format. Clear logic. Your choice Dash ought is sound and 100% true. Any advertising is not related to products and services. On track. Bank advertising is the correct answer. Which effect has thickness and rounded edge to a shape? Perfect. Bevel is the correct choice. Third or right panel in Backstage. View this display as Dash. Correct response. An additional options is the most accurate answer. Creating a circular Letterwich ribbon must be clicked. You're right. Mailings is the correct answer. Dash indent will shift the first line of the paragraph. Right again. First line is a valid answer. The lines that mark the cell boundaries are called dash. Nice work. You chose grid lines, and it is correct. The grammatical errors are indicated by dash wavy line. Great job. Green is the accurate answer. Column breaks are mostly used in. Nicely done. Newspapers is a solid answer. By default, the tab key stops at dash in each document. Right again, 0.5 inches is a valid answer. We can insert a picture or a shape in the table cells. Exactly. True makes sense, and it is right choice. The intersection of a column and row is called a dash. Great thinking. Cell is the right choice. Creating a business card can be built by any other way. Correct. Creating a column division is the right answer. In Word 2016, a file is saved with the extension dash. Smart pick. Docs is the correct choice. Which of the following option creates a new document? Correct response. New is the most accurate answer. Once you've deleted the text, you can't get it back. Well reasoned. False is the correct choice. Save, close, and open button are present in Dash tab.
Right choice. File is the best answer.
To access the backstage view, click on the Dash tab.
Solid response. File is a valid choice.
Which button enables you to zoom the document view?
Excellent. Zoom slider is a brilliant choice. The shortcut key to find text in a document is Dash. Well picked. Ctrl plus F is the correct answer. What styles are used to create a table of contents? Good thinking. Heading styles is the right answer. On selecting a text, it is highlighted to the color. Good job. Your answer blue works well here. The upper part of the document is known as the dash. Valid point. Header is true. Which key is used to insert space between two lines? Excellent choice. Enter key is the right answer. We must use this button before leaving the document. Well done. Close is the right choice. The process of preparing a document is called Dash. You got it? Your choice documentation is right. The Dash window helps to add or delete field names. Sharp thinking. Customize address list is the right choice. It helps us to save different versions of the file. Nice work. You chose Save As and it is correct. We can view our document in Dash different views. Strong choice. 5 is the right answer. To select an entire line, click Dash times on it. Nice selection. 3 is the correct and valid answer. Center the selected text. The shortcut key is Bravo. Ctrl plus E is the answer. Grammatical errors are indicated with green line. Perfect. True is the correct choice. To insert a table in a document, click Insert tab. You're right. Table button is the correct answer. Dash tool is used to copy the formatting effects. Clear logic. Your choice format painter is sound and 100% true. The shortcut key for opening an existing document. On track. Ctrl plus O is the correct answer. In Dash window, you can edit the recipient details. Smart move. New address list is an accurate answer. Press Dash to indent the beginning of a paragraph. You chose Tab, and it is correct. Dash option gives our document a newspaper look. Clear logic. Your choice column break is sound and 100% true. Find and replace option is present in Dash group. You chose editing, and it is correct. What are the shortcut keys to print the document? Well done. Ctrl plus P is the right choice. What is the default page size for Word document? Nice selection. Letter is the correct and valid answer. What is situated at the bottom of Word document? On track. Status bar is the correct answer.
Which is a shortcut key for recording documents.
Valid point. Ctrl plus S is true. Dash means to create duplicate copy of the text. Nice work. You chose copy and it is correct.
The shortcut key combination for undo command is excellent. Ctrl+C is a brilliant choice. Which effect on Word can be used to design text? Great job. Word art is the accurate answer.
Dash is the faded impression of text or picture.
Correct response. Watermark is the most accurate answer.
Choose the correct spelling according to chapter.
Nicely done. Indent is a solid answer. Borders and shading option is found in Dash tab. Correct. Home is the right answer. Copy and paste option is present in Dash group. Strong choice. Clipboard is the right answer. The bar that displays the name of the document. Excellent choice. Title bar is the right answer. The shortcut key to select the entire document. Smart move. Ctrl+A is an accurate answer. We can't add more than one shapes in Ms. Word page. Good thinking. False is the right answer.
To add the data entered in a table, click on the
Great thinking. Formula option is the right choice. Dash button is used to close a document window. You're right. Close is the correct answer. Which is the most important tab in Word window? You got it. Your choice file tab is right. Dash is used to display the name of a document. Good job. Your answer title bar works well here. It shows the total number of pages, words it's here. Bravo, status bar is the answer. Ms. Word is a very Dash word processing software. Well reasoned. Versatile is the correct choice. To create a new file, the shortcut key is Dash. Sharp thinking. Ctrl+N is the right choice. Subscript is used to make text dash the baseline. Perfect. Below is the correct choice. It contains buttons for commonly used commands. Well picked. Quick Access Toolbar is the correct answer. How many arrow keys are there on the keyboard? Right choice. 4 is the best answer. To change the appearance of the text is called solid response. Formatting is a valid choice. To customize columns, we click on More Columns. Right again. True is a valid answer. Which one is the new row of the selected row? Exactly. Insert above makes sense and it is right choice.
You can find the print command in which menu?
Smart pick. File is the correct choice. It refers to the positioning of the document. Strong choice. Orientation is the right answer. The file extension of the data source file is? Nice selection. MamDB is the correct and valid answer. The Format Painter tool is in the Layout tab. You're right. False is the correct answer. Specify how blank page appears in the window. Well picked. View buttons is the correct answer. Header and footer is present in the Dash tab. Nicely done. Insert is a solid answer. The Dash has two parts, the tabs and the groups. Exactly. Ribbon makes sense.
and it is right choice.
The term word processing was invented by Dash.
Excellent choice. IBM is the right answer.
The printed output from a computer is called.
Great job. Hard copy is the accurate answer.
You can resize the rows and columns manually.
Valid point. True is true.
Dash orientation means horizontal direction.
You chose landscape, and it is correct.
The word processor is best described as Dash.
Smart pick. Document software is the correct choice.
Page formatting is done from following tab.
Excellent. Layout is a brilliant choice.
How many ways are there for inserting table? Correct. 4 is the right answer.
Shortcut for creating a new document is dash.
Ctrl plus N is the answer.
Which keyboard shortcut bolds selected text?
Well reasoned. Ctrl plus B is the correct choice.
Making changes in a document is called dash.
Correct response. Editing is the most accurate answer.
Which tab is used for spelling and grammar?
You got it? Your choice review tab is right.
How many steps do we have to handling data?
Smart move. 3 is an accurate answer.
Which one is to create the end of the book?
Clear logic. Your choice, click references, mark entry is sound and 100% true. What is the very for known word processor?
On track. Ms. Word is the correct answer.
To select a cell, triple click on the table.
Good thinking. False is the right answer.
The Microsoft window has dash scroll bars.
Right choice. 2 is the best answer.
Dash gives us the correct spelling option.
Solid response. Proofing window is a valid choice.
Shortcut key for saving a document is dash.
Right again. Ctrl plus S is a valid answer.
Shortcut key for selecting entire document.
Well done. Ctrl plus A is the right choice.
Shortcut key for copying the text is dash.
Perfect. Ctrl plus C is the correct choice.
Which is the longest key on the keyboard?
Good job. Your answer spacebar works well here.
Which of these keys are on the bottom row?
Nice work. You chose XCVB and it is correct.
The early name of Microsoft Word was Dash. Great thinking. Multi-tool Word is the right choice.
In which tab watermark option is present?
Sharp thinking. Page layout is the right choice.
The shortcut key used to save a document.
Perfect. Ctrl plus S is the correct choice.
We can find the columns button in the dash.
Smart pick. Layout tab is the correct choice.
It displays the frequently used commands.
Solid response. Quick access toolbar is a valid choice.
What is the purpose of a word processor?
Excellent. To process text documents is a brilliant choice. You double-click on a word to select it. Sharp thinking. True is the right choice. What is the first step in adding footer? You chose Click Insert, and it is correct. What is the shortcut to save a document? Nicely done. Trell plus S is a solid answer. Dash is the area where we type the text. Nice work. You chose working area, and it is correct. What option is used to redo the project? Correct response. Ctrl plus Shift and Z is the most accurate answer.
Tables group is present on the Dash tab.
Nice selection. Insert is the correct and valid answer. Writer is a Dash word processing program. You got it? Your choice-free open source is right.
The default page margins are set to Dash.
Right again. 1 inch is a valid answer. A dash is a paper with written contents.
Great job. Document is the accurate answer.
We cannot change the table style easily. Smart move. False is an accurate answer. Line spacing is in the dash whirl of Mema's word. On track. Home tab is the correct answer. What is the option to undo the project? Valid point. Ctrl plus Z is true. The save option is present in Dash tab. Clear logic. Your choice file is sound and 100% true. There is only one scroll bar in Ms. Word. Great thinking. False is the right choice. It removes the currently selected text. Exactly. Cut makes sense and it is right choice. Click on the dash option to merge cells. Good thinking. Merge cells is the right answer. Word art are on Dash tab on Dash group. Right choice. Insert text is the best answer. The default name of a Word document is?
Well picked. Document 1 is the correct answer.
Text box are on Dash tab on Dash group. Good job. Your answer insert text works well here. Word art option is present in Dash tab. Excellent choice. Insert is the right answer. Clipboard group is present in Dash tab.
Well done. Home is the right choice.
Editing individual letters not allowed. Strong choice. False is the right answer. Dash stores only the recipient details. You're right. Data source is the correct answer.
Dash is the parent software of Ms. Word.
Well reasoned. Ms. Office is the correct choice. A shortcut key to open a new document.
Correct. Ctrl plus N is the right answer.
A red wavy line under a word indicates. Bravo. Spelling error is the answer.
In which tab do we found table option? You're right. Insert tab is the correct answer.
How can you open an existing document?
Bravo. Click on Open is the answer.
Which is the word processing software? Good thinking. Ms. Word 2007 is the right answer. Which option copies the selected text? Great job.
Copy is the accurate answer.
Shapes are on dash tab in dash group. Correct. Insert illustration is the right answer. Shortcut key to search or find a word. Ctrl+F is the correct answer. To edit text, you must first dash it. Good job. Your answer select works well here. Dash is an example of word processor. Excellent choice. Mesword is the right answer. Shortcut key for exiting Word 2016 is Smart Pick. Alt plus F4 is the correct choice.
Margin button is present in Dash tab.
Sharp thinking. Page layout is the right choice.
It helps to move the page up and down.
On track. Scroll bar is the correct answer.
Where can you find tables in Mesword?
Solid response. Insert tab is a valid choice.
Backstage view is also known as dash.
Nice work. You chose file menu and it is correct.
Technique used to select a paragraph.
Nice selection. Triple click is the correct and valid answer.
Dash means the position of the text.
Clear logic. Your choice alignment is sound and 100% true.
Which tab can you find page numbers?
Well done. Insert is the right choice.
Which term is not related with font?
You got it. Your choice font grammar is right.
Which one matches the note of text?
Perfect. Internal government books is the correct choice.
Thesaurus provides the list of dash.
Correct response. Both synonyms and antonyms is the most accurate answer.
Dash divides the page horizontally.
Valid point. Page break is true.
Shortcut to zoom in on your screen.
Well reasoned. Ctrl+ is the correct choice.
Versatile word processing software.
Smart move. Mesword is an accurate answer. What is the shortcut key of paste? Exactly. Ctrl+Vr makes sense and it is right choice.
You can merge and split the cells.
Right again. True is a valid answer.
Breaks button present in dash tab.
Strong choice. Page layout is the right answer. We can apply effects to the shape. Excellent. True is a brilliant choice. What is the shortcut key to undo? Great thinking. Ctrl+Z is the right choice. To delete the selected text, press.
You chose delete,
And it is correct.
it indicates the end of the page.
Right choice. Page break is the best answer. The footer button is available on. Nicely done. Insert tab is a solid answer. The founder of Microsoft is Dash. Excellent choice. Bill Gates is the right answer. Incorrect spellings are shown by. Right again. Red wavy line is a valid answer. Shortcut for opening a document. Sharp thinking. Ctrl+O is the right choice,
Which is not a business letter.
On track. Public relations letter is the correct answer.
Dashed button is a toggle button.
Nice work. You chose Format Painter, and it is correct.
We cannot change the page size.
Great thinking. False is the right choice. What is the use of Ctrl plus P? Well done. Print is the right choice.
Which is not a self-lock box.
Well picked. Layout is the correct answer.
In Microsoft Word you create.
Exactly. Documents make sense and it is right choice. Shortcut key for copy is dash.
You're right. Ctrl plus C is the correct answer. To select a word, dash on it.
Solid response. Double-click is a valid choice.
The first tab on the ribbon.
Nice selection. File is the correct and valid answer.
Where can we find the ruler?
Smart move. In the View tab is an accurate answer. Which finger hits the G key?
Smart pick. Left index is the correct choice. You cannot resize the table.
Great job. False is the accurate answer.
What hits the space bar? Good job. Your answer thumbs works well here.
Shortcut key for paste.
You chose Ctrl plus V, and it is correct.
MesWord is software of. Clear logic. Your choice Microsoft is sound and 100% true.
Can we resize a table? Valid point. Yes is true. Margin is of 3 types. You got it. Your choice false is right. Shortcut key to print. Strong choice. Ctrl plus P is the right answer.
Formatting means dash.
Bravo. All is the answer. Shortcut key for copy. Correct response. Ctrl plus C is the most accurate answer.
To close a document.
Nicely done. Ctrl plus W is a solid answer. Guy stands for dash.
Right choice. Graphical user interface is the best answer.
Ribbon has 2 parts.
Excellent. Tabs, groups is a brilliant choice.
Shortcut for save.
Well reasoned. Ctrl plus S is the correct choice. To print. Perfect. Ctrl plus P is the correct choice.
Ctrl plus Z.
Good thinking. Undo is the right answer.
3.
Correct. Ctrl plus S is the right answer.
How you will get all these quiz questions in PDF books format? You're right. Contact Narayan Changder on Facebook is the correct answer.